love, intrigue, and a Facebook frenzy, secrets and curiosity surrounding the heir's marriage. Serenity starts to feel better after drinking the hot cocoa that Zachary made for her. The pain in her stomach subsides, and she begins scrolling through the news on her phone. Concerned for her well-being, Zachary snatches the phone out of her hands and gives her pain relief medicine, explaining that he went to the hospital to get prescriptions since the pharmacy was closed. He instructs her to take the pills and go back to bed. Serenity is moved by Zachary's care and affection and stands before him, embracing him tightly. She expresses her gratitude, saying that he's been so good to her. Zachary lovingly embraces her, affirming that as her husband, it's his role to take care of her. However, he worries that she might leave him when she discovers his past and hopes that she'll remember his love and dedication. Their intimate moment is interrupted when Serenity points out that Zachary went out wearing a dressing gown and loafers. Embarrassed, he realizes his mistake and takes note of his attire. He explains that he was so concerned about her that he didn't pay attention to what he was wearing. Serenity assures him that nobody saw him since it was late at night. The conversation shifts to the wedding ring Zachary gave Serenity. He scolds her for not wearing it while working, as it might give Sean the impression that their relationship is rocky and that he still has a chance with her. Serenity promises to put the ring on the next day and assures Zachary that she won't take it off again. He insists that she must wear it to show Sean that they are married. Serenity's hand gently strokes Zachary's face, and she playfully soothes him, teasing him about getting wrinkles from constant frowning. Zachary warns her not to leave him, jokingly threatening to buy all the rings in every jewelry store in Wiltspoon and put them on all her fingers to assert his ownership. Serenity questions whether he has the money for that, and they engage in lighthearted banter. They share a passionate kiss, and Zachary declares that he will drive her to the shop the next day and won't leave for work until she puts the ring back on. They playfully exchange remarks about his dominance and wealth, but Serenity keeps her voice low, doubting that he can afford to buy all the rings. Zachary playfully responds to her mumbles, creating a playful and loving atmosphere between them. Serenity's attention is caught by Zachary's remark about money. She finds it amusing that her husband is just daydreaming about having loads of money, unknowingly that she married the heir of the wealthy York family. Confused by his reaction, Serenity watches as Zachary gets up and walks away, seemingly angry. Not wanting to exacerbate the situation, Serenity decides to take the pills Zachary bought for her. She pours herself a glass of water and swallows the medication, hoping it will ease her pain and prevent Zachary's efforts from going to waste. Zachary returns and instructs Serenity to put her hand out. Curious, Serenity lifts her chin and sees a red jewelry box in Zachary's hand. She asks if it's a ring, and Zachary opens the box, grabbing her left hand and placing a gold ring on her ring finger. He explains that it's the ring he originally bought for her but later decided to give her the eternal diamond ring instead. He suggests she wear the gold ring temporarily until they can go to the shop the next day to get the eternal diamond ring. Zachary had also bought an extra gold ring to give Elisa a reality check, and now it proves useful for Serenity. After putting the gold ring on her finger, Zachary removes the eternal diamond ring and wears the other gold ring himself, determined to have a matching pair with Serenity. Serenity playfully teases Zachary in her mind, calling him a tyrant and mentioning his bossy and jealous nature. However, she finds his actions endearing. Zachary takes a picture of their intertwined fingers with his phone and Serenity asks if he plans to post it on Facebook. Without saying a word, Zachary does indeed post the picture, and Serenity pinches his cheek, finding his behavior amusing. She asks him to send her the photo so she can also share it on Facebook. Serenity publishes the photo on Facebook and then puts her phone on the bedside table. She playfully pulls Zachary onto the bed with her and tells him not to be mad, suggesting they go to sleep. However, Zachary becomes serious and tells Serenity, "You're mine." Serenity pushes back, asserting her independence and saying she belongs to herself. Zachary's gaze remains fixated on Serenity, and he murmurs that he feels vulnerable and is afraid of losing her. Serenity is already asleep and doesn't hear his words. Unbeknownst to her, behind Zachary's domineering exterior lies vulnerability and fear. He ponders what he should do, realizing that he brought this upon himself. Zachary's post on Facebook attracts attention from his friends, business associates, and influential people in Wiltspoon. The picture of him and Serenity generates curiosity about the lucky lady who married him, creating a buzz among the upper crust of society. Zachary intends to join Serenity in dreamland but suddenly sits up, deep in thought. He realizes that the photo they posted on Facebook could potentially be seen by Elisa, which would expose his relationship with Serenity. Knowing that the DNA test results between Serenity and Mrs. Stone will be out in 2 days, Zachary decides he cannot let Elisa discover their connection at this time. Zachary grabs Serenity's phone and tries to access her Facebook, but she has logged out. He tries to recall her password and makes a few unsuccessful attempts before staying calm and digging into his memory. After a few minutes, he successfully logs into her Facebook account and proceeds to block Elisa from viewing Serenity's posts and stories. Feeling relieved that they posted the photo late at night when their friends were asleep, Zachary lies back down next to Serenity. He checks the contact name she saved for him on her phone and discovers she labeled him as Mr. York, husband married at first sight. Zachary finds it amusing and changes Serenity's contact name on his own phone to "My wife," thinking she might appreciate the sweet gesture if she ever checks his phone. Zachary murmurs goodnight to Serenity and they both fall asleep together. Serenity wakes up in the morning to find herself alone in bed. She sees that Zachary has placed her clothes on the nightstand, making it easy for her to find them when she gets up. Serenity wakes up in bed holding her clothes and her phone. Out of habit, she checks her Facebook and realizes that Zachary was the first person to like her post from the previous night. She wonders if she accidentally allowed him access to her Facebook posts and stories when she added him as a friend. Serenity reflects on the fact that she didn't post anything negative about Zachary, so she feels relieved that he didn't come across any unfavorable remarks. Zachary enters the room dressed in a tracksuit, indicating that he went for a run early in the morning. Concerned about Serenity's stomach pain, he asks if she is still experiencing discomfort. Serenity reassures him that her pain has subsided. She mentions that she needs to use the bathroom and jokingly asks if he will be fine without rushing to change clothes. Zachary, interpreting her question as a flirtatious comment, responds with a teasing remark, which leaves Serenity momentarily speechless. They engage in a conversation about their cooking abilities, revealing that their grandmother encouraged them to be independent and learn various life skills. Zachary explains that he rarely cooks for himself since he started working at York Corporation because his work keeps him busy. However, he mentions that Nana occasionally requests her grandchildren to cook for her, allowing them to practice their culinary skills and become self-reliant. Serenity expresses excitement about trying Zachary's cooking, and her enthusiasm brings joy to Zachary. He appreciates her support and willingness to taste his culinary efforts. They agree to get dressed first before Zachary prepares breakfast for them. Serenity heads to the bathroom with her clothes while Zachary plans to change clothes as well. In the meantime, Serenity takes the opportunity to post on Facebook, sharing a positive message about the chilly weather and her inner sunshine that melts her heart. She adds the post and continues with her morning routine, eagerly anticipating the breakfast that Zachary will prepare for them. While Serenity's heart is filled with warmth and happiness due to Zachary's affectionate gestures, Elisa receives a rude awakening. Elisa's sister-in-law, Alice, shows her a screenshot of a photo from Zachary's Facebook post. Elisa had just woken up and didn't immediately grasp the meaning behind Alice's actions. Thinking that Alice was trying to irritate her by showing mushy posts, Elisa sarcastically asks if Alice is trying to make her feel bad about being single. However, Alice remains silent, leaving Elisa confused. In reality, Alice had actually supported Elisa's pursuit of Zachary, believing that they would make a perfect couple. Alice explains that Zachary had recently revealed on his Facebook page that he is married. She received a screenshot of the post from her husband, Clive, who wanted Alice to show it to Elisa. Clive suspected that Zachary intentionally made the announcement to help Elisa move on from her feelings for him. Alice expresses her displeasure at being asked to share the news and criticizes Clive, feeling disappointed that Elisa is still clinging to her hopes for a relationship with Zachary. Clive argues that Elisa would eventually find out about Zachary's marriage, and it would be better for her to learn it from family rather than from others. Elisa takes the phone from Alice and examines the photo on Zachary's Facebook post. She realizes that he has indeed announced his marriage, and her hopes of him wearing a ring to signify their connection come crashing down. Elisa's face loses color as she comes to terms with the reality that Zachary is truly married. Elisa finds comfort from her sister-in-law, Alice, who admires Elisa's integrity and right-mindedness. Alice encourages Elisa to move on from Zachary and assures her that she will find a better man who is more suited for her. Elisa decides to spend time with Serenity and mentions the delicious desserts made by the pastry chef. Alice suggests that Elisa bring some of the pastries to Serenity and Jasmine, knowing that they both have a love for desserts. Alice and Elisa discuss how Elisa's family hired a pastry chef after Alice joined the family, and they express their anticipation for the fresh pastries that should be ready downstairs. Elisa expresses joy when talking about Serenity and Jasmine, emphasizing their shared qualities and love for food. As the conversation shifts, it becomes clear that Elisa has put Zachary's marriage behind her, allowing Alice to feel more at ease. Meanwhile, Clive, Alice's husband, asks about Elisa's well-being and praises her resilience. Clive mentions that he tried to gather information about Zachary's wife but was unable to find any details. He acknowledges the York family's ability to keep their personal lives private, even from close friends and family. The media is eager to uncover the identity of Zachary's wife, but the Yorks have remained silent, leaving reporters frustrated and curious. Alice and Clive discuss the elusive nature of the information and express their own curiosity about Zachary's wife. Clive mentions his regret that he couldn't acquire a talented individual like Josh, who has strong connections and influence within the Buchan family. Alice comforts him, reminding him that everyone has regrets in life and that the people around him are just as valuable as Josh, even if they don't have the same family background. Serenity goes to her sister's new place to pick up Mrs. Lane and Sunny before heading to the shop with Zachary. Zachary insists on driving her, even though Serenity initially declines. Sunny is now more comfortable with his mother, so Liberty can return to work, and Serenity takes over the responsibility of looking after Sunny during the day. At the shop, Zachary reminds Serenity about the eternal diamond ring, and she promises to always wear it on her finger. She retrieves the ring from the cash register drawer and puts it on, replacing the temporary gold ring she had been wearing. Serenity proudly shows off the ring to Zachary before he heads to work. Jasmine appears and takes Sunny from Mrs. Lane, and Zachary briefly acknowledges her presence. He hopes for a kiss from Serenity but is disappointed when she is more focused on showing Jasmine her ring. Zachary looks back at Serenity before leaving, feeling a bit down that she seems to prioritize Jasmine over him. A few minutes later, as Zachary is driving away, he encounters Elisa's sports car. They pass each other quickly, and Elisa catches a glimpse of Zachary before he disappears. She notices the car's plate number and logo, realizing it is a national MPV. Elisa wonders if her eyes deceived her and if it was indeed Zachary driving the car. Elisa arrives at Serenity's bookshop and is surprised that Serenity already knew she was there. Serenity explains that she was planning to go to the supermarket with Sunny. Elisa expresses disappointment that she doesn't get to hug Sunny, as he seems to prefer being close to Serenity. Elisa asks about Serenity's sister and learns that she and her husband, Hank, have split up. Serenity reveals that her sister received the divided assets and renovation costs. Elisa expresses frustration and anger towards the Browns, showing her dislike for them. Serenity suggests that they go inside the shop to chat, and Elisa agrees. She mentions that she is in a horrible mood and wants to vent her feelings. Elisa admits that she is still deeply in love with Zachary and finding it difficult to let go of her feelings for him. She confides in Serenity, seeking solace and understanding. Serenity notices that Elisa doesn't look well and expresses concern for her. Jasmine greets Elisa, and Mrs. Lane takes Sunny so that Serenity and Elisa can have a private conversation. Mrs. Lane discreetly sends a message to old Mrs. York and Zachary to inform them of Elisa's presence at the shop. Meanwhile, Grandma May, who is known for her chess skills, is not at the shop as she is playing chess with senior citizens in the neighborhood. Jasmine serves tea, and Elisa, who has abandoned her heiress status, decides to join Serenity and Jasmine in drinking tea. They settle in for a heartfelt conversation, with Serenity offering support to Elisa during her difficult time. Elisa had previously seen a wedding ring on Zachary's finger but hoped it was a deliberate act to help her move on. However, she recently came across Zachary's Facebook post announcing his marriage, which has caused a stir in Wiltspoon's upper society. Elisa discusses the media's interest in Zachary's marital status and the curiosity surrounding the identity of his wife. She ponders what it took for the woman to win Zachary's heart and expresses her own feelings of hurt and loss. Elisa wonders who she has lost to and longs to know more about Zachary's wife. Serenity is surprised by the media's fascination with Zachary's marriage, confessing that she doesn't pay much attention to news about him as they belong to different worlds. Jasmine, on the other hand, is seen as someone who may have a chance to find out more about Zachary's wife since she went on a blind date with Josh, who holds a high position at York Corporation. Elisa encourages Jasmine to ask Josh and gather information from him. She believes that Josh might have insights into Zachary's personal life and could potentially reveal the identity of his wife. Although Jasmine initially finds the idea far-fetched, Elisa persists in her suggestion, emphasizing the importance of getting first-hand information about Zachary's marriage. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Voice Novel, and follow Voice Novel on Facebook, so you will get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.